Well, a lot of people are concerned this morning for the health of former Bama star quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. The Miami Dolphins quarterback is once again in the NFL's concussion protocol.
So this is the play where it's believed Tua suffered that concussion right after Tua sends a shovel pass to the tight end. You can see him hit his head on the turf. Now this comes just 3 months after that terrifying scene when he had to be taken off the field on a stretcher when he suffered a concussion against the Bengals. He wound up missing 2 games from that incident. So now many are wondering about his long-term health and life after football.
Yeah, so will he continue his career? Scott Powell is executive director of the Alabama Head Injury Foundation. He joins us now to talk more about the broader issue of traumatic brain injury. Scott, thanks for coming in. We do appreciate it.
Thank you. Always happy to bring awareness to this issue.
Absolutely. And I don't know how much you've followed what has happened with Tua, or how much you followed with his career and these 2 injuries he suffered this year. But when you hear about incidents like this, what are your concerns?
I think any time, with the initial piece when it happened, because technically I think for most of us we believe this probably was the 3rd concussion that he sustained this season, because the first one, even though it was called a neck injury, most of us who were watching it believe it was something else. Anytime that you have a situation where someone sustains more than 1 concussion in a short time frame, you worry about what the long-term impact is to that person, but then you also worry about what it means in terms of high school, athletics, obviously a big thing here in Alabama, college athletics, and what sort of protocols the NFL is exhibiting for these colleges and high schools to follow about if someone is concussed, whether or not they're allowed to continue to play or not.
Now we hear a lot about this in football. This could happen in a car crash or in other, serious incidents. What are the long-term effects of concussions?
I think probably one of the scariest things is that there's still a lot of question marks about that, because they've just now started, even within the 80s, really identifying concussions, really starting to do a better job of identifying. Now we don't know all the long-term impacts, but we do know that it can lead to memory loss issues, it can lead to personality changes, it can lead to lack of a filter, it can even lead to some physical ailments as well. But for the most part, you're talking about progressive cognitive decline that can happen earlier in life that might present as some of the initial signs of like dementia or Alzheimer's disease that you could see happening earlier and earlier, where people are forgetting things and just struggling to continue to perform at the highest level.
And we should say at the front, Scott is not a neuroscientist. This is the research that the foundation uses to try to assist people and provide resources for people who've suffered traumatic brain injuries. And on that note, as Lyndon mentioned, somebody could suffer some of these through a car crash or any type of accident, maybe playing other sports. What has the foundation learned, and what can you offer in terms of resources? What should people know about the resources that are available?
I think for the most part, the most important thing is to be aware of yourself, listen to people around you, to know when you actually need to seek help. Because a lot of times we've all grown up where if you hit your head, you're told that you just walk it off, and as long as you don't lose consciousness, everything is okay. But that's not always the case. So just be honest and look for changes in your behavior to know when to come and ask for help. And then depending upon the severity of what goes on, we have an array of services that can range everything from just connecting them to other people that know what it's like, connecting caregivers to other people to know what it's care for someone living with a brain injury, provide some camp opportunities, provide mental health counseling, because a lot of times when you lose the ability to do some of the things that you used to do before your brain injury, emotionally processing that and finding out how to deal with that.
Yeah. All right, we got to wrap up here, and I hate to put you on the spot here, but maybe not into a situation. Let's just say it's your child out there and they're playing. That's what they want to do. They love playing it. What would you advise your own child to do?
It's very real for me. I have a 12-year-old son, and I think after multiple concussions, I would really hesitate. I would really hesitate to allow him to continue playing, because there's just so much uncertainty as to what the long-term cognitive impact would be, and I would rather know that he was going to have a full life and be able to know everything that was going on than to have the momentary piece of being able to live in the spotlight of playing football.
Certainly.
Real quick before we let you go, I just want to know, how can we get in touch with the foundation if people at home have questions and want to get the resources?
Absolutely. You can reach us at our website, which is www.ahif.org, or through our phone number, 205-823-3818.
And there's the information on the bottom of your screen as well. Scott Powell, Executive Director, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
you.
All right.